Creativity is it's like breathing. If creativity is stifled, then people sometimes fall into working toward just being accepted. Oftentimes that means becoming someone else. So when we explore creativity, we're inviting each other to stay true to who we are and be accepting of ourselves. Think of a time when you just had to have something.
Judy never understood how her coworkers could head to the pub every night after work. Then after a few months after starting her new job, she was invited out for the first time. It felt good to unwind after a long day at work, and the cocktails made her feel mellow. Soon, one night became 3 or 4 nights, became 6 nights a week. One drink became 3. Judy began to keep more alcohol at home on nights that no one wanted to do with the bar, and she could just go home and make 3 of her favorite drinks in a row. Judy couldn't unwind unless she had one, and she found herself passing out after getting home from work instead of making dinner or going for a walk or reading a book or spending time with friends.
I don't know what love is supposed to feel like. I don't know what tender and care is supposed to look like. I grew up sexually exploited by men. I know what violence feels like. I know what manipulation looks like. I want to feel something. When I was in middle school, a lot of my friends began talking about and experimenting with watching pornography. I didn't even know what porn meant. But just out of curiosity, one day I decided to Google it. I was disgusted. When my older brother watched a fake couple having fake sex in a movie at home, I cried. I never wanted it, but I could admit it looked like it felt good. After college, after I'd been hurt in my casual encounters with men that I wasn't sure wanted me, but wanted my body, I connected my experiences to violent pornographic ones. The scenes where the girls looked as if they were forced into enjoying it were the ones I connected with the most. I kept watching. I still wanted to feel something, but I don't want to feel this. I haven't yet fully processed why I keep going back into reintroducing myself to something I don't want, to a toxic cycle, to trauma. This exercise is called interviews. So when the person rereads their story, the point being for us to draw as many details out of the person's story as possible that they maybe hadn't thought of yet. Just to ask clarifying questions, just out of curiosity, not any questions that would sound as judgment, like, why did you do that when you knew it was wrong? But more like, what did you use to climb out of the window to escape from your parents? Or why did you decide to go out the back door instead of the front? Or why I wasn't sure what exactly the subject of the addiction was. Could you clarify? Just questions like that.
You know, she liked feeling very mellow. She liked sort of that unwinding feeling, that sort of lightless feeling, that lightness, that relaxed feeling. And as the stress of the job grew, she sort of chased that sensation a lot more. And then it just all went downhill from there. You know, it was sort of, it stopped being so much a social fun thing as being something she had to do at the end of her day. It was almost as regimented as her work day.
Cameron, 14 years old, addicted to werewolves, mom, disapproving busybody, in the TV room after school. Hey, the show about werewolves is pretty cool.
Cameron,
you know Big Wolf on Campus? You've never seen this show before?
No.
It's classic. I mean, gosh, this guy, he's so popular because he's just so powerful and girls like him. And
Cameron, maybe it's a really nice day. Maybe you should go outside, maybe spend some time with friends. It is summer. Maybe you can meet up with a few people.
What friends?
That Tommy kid? The Joe with the glasses and the lisp? They're nice.
Mom, people are going to see me outside playing with them. I've been trying to be popular this school year. I know for me, popularity is really out of my reach. And but Mom, if I were one of these wolves, If I were like this Tommy from the Big Wolf on Campus Night, he's got so much going for him, and I've just
Well,
got.
Tommy on the show isn't real, and he seems like a bit of a jerk. And Cameron, you're my sweet boy. You're not a jerk. You're my sweet Cam, and you wouldn't ignore your friends because they're a little unconventional, right?
No, you're right. You're right. I'll go outside as soon as the show's over. But it's a
Okay.
marathon tonight, so it might be late.
2 episodes. 2 episodes, and then get some fresh air.
But ma, kids pick on me in school. You know,
Well,
I
it's
just
because
I
they don't.
but
They don't
that really
understand.
makes me feel so much better when I can see this kid's happiness like I don't have. You don't know what middle school is like. It's not
Yes, I do.
inviting.
They're little. They're little. Yes, it's been a very long time, but I know they're little
When were you
monsters.
ever my age?
A very long time ago, Cameron. No sass. Wolves aren't sassy. They respect their elders. You want to be like a wolf, you respect your mother. She's
You don't know
your
anything about werewolves. You always make fun of me for liking werewolves. You don't know any. I list you so many facts about werewolves, and you never listen. You don't pay attention to what I like. Why do you make fun of your own kid? I have enough bullies in school.
Well, I'm not making fun of you. I just think it's good to branch out. And as for the bullies in school, well, they're just pathetic and sad, and they don't understand how wonderful you are, or they get to know you. And they're just as powerless in their own lives as you are, maybe more so, maybe worse. Because they may not have people who love them when they go home. I want them to get outside and have a good life.
Yeah, you know what they do have though? Power.
Middle school power, which is nothing.
They not even the teachers fight against them. You know, they pick on the teachers in the halls. They can't. These bullies are like wolves, except not the nice kinds. They can't be stopped. You know, I don't have. I don't. I don't know who I'm kidding. Just watching all this stuff about movies about werewolves. I'll never be. I'll never be a wolf. the these kids they eat kids like me. We're their prey. Like, okay, not literally eat us. Like, I'm not chopped into bits. Don't have teeth marks in my skin. I mean, that's all psychological. Is you?
Well, exactly. And that sort of behavior gives them power. It isn't because they're wolf-like. It's because nobody stands up to them. It's because everyone gives them the run of the school. But, even they're going to find that when they get up, that behavior isn't going to be tolerated, even after high school. And they'll just be bullies all their lives. They'll be sad bullies forever. And they'll turn into high school bullies, then college bullies, then balding middle-aged bullies. We're more like sad grizzly bears than wolves.
Yeah, that's not helpful, Mom. How do we get them to stop ever?
Run them over with the SUV? No, just kidding. No, we're not running anyone over with the SUV.
Giving me ideas, Mom.
No, Cameron. I'd rather have you marathon a whole day than get behind the SUV and run over your bullies. No, that was a bad example. I was just kidding.
Man, when I can learn to drive, and when I got my license for the first time, man, if I got one of the kinds of cars all the cool kids drive, maybe they wouldn't make fun of me anymore.
Well, Cameron, you could drive the coolest car in school, but would they like you for you, Cameron, and all your wonderful traits, or would they like you for your
They
flash
wouldn't
car?
have to when I get to run them down with the SUV.
Okay, that was a bad example, sweetie. We're not running anyone down.
God, what
Assholes
kind of
would
a
never
car is cool to these kids? I don't know. SUV is a mom van. Man, I can't use your car. Man, I don't got a job. I ain't got, kids like these probably steal cars.
You're not wrong. Well, Cameron, you are a 14-year-old middle schooler. Yes, you will be driving school, but maybe also focus on, you're very concerned about what these kids think of you, aren't you?
It's, I don't like to say it, but middle school is like my life, I have
It
to be
is.
around these people every day. If they don't like you, you're nothing. You can't do anything about it. They remind you constantly just by this look or this they laugh or they throw papers. They have something called hornets. So they have this elastic band, or they shoot back about a piece of paper and they hit you with it on the bus, and the driver can't stop them because there's too many doing it all at once. Sometimes they spit them from their mouth. Ma, you don't. God, I can't even believe I'm admitting this to you. It's so embarrassing. You can't
I'm glad you
just.
can tell me. I'm glad you can tell me, Cam. I'm glad you can tell me these things. You don't tell me these things. You think I don't get it, but I do. And I'd like to tell you that, what a bunch of middle schoolers think of you isn't really important, but I know that's not true for you. And I know you want to have friends, but think about who you want to be friends with and why. You want people who will like you for you, and because you're special and smart and handsome and unique, and, you're not a wolf, but you're brave and you're noble, and that's like a wolf, and wolves take care of their friends, and they trust each other, and they show leadership. And bullying isn't leadership. So if you want to learn something from a wolf, it should be those good qualities, right? Maybe you wouldn't turn into a wolf man once a month, but you would, you'd be brave. You'd be your own leader of the pack. Be your own leader of the pack. How about that? You see what I mean?
Just once in my life, I like to be the big wolf on campus.
Do you though? Really?
Yeah. And
Pouring outside, so we'll just have to marathon.
and scene. Was the scene realistic for you?
Um, in a sense that you have a parent who is, I'm going to say, desperately trying to connect with a child who is getting older and who will be out of the house soon, and that need to impart wisdom and advice while your child sort of still listens to you, and again trying to channel that obsession into a lesson, which is sort of, I think, natural sometimes. It's like, well, if my child is obsessed with X, how do I turn this into something good for them? I think it's you mentioned Ryan, that she's a bit of his parents are a bit helicoptery, but, and it can be very oppressive, but it's not out of a place of, always like friction, but it's like, I want to tell you something. I want to share this with you while you're still in the house, basically.